Hello, welcome, bienvenido a todo. Here we are in Train Sim World 2, and today we are in East Coastway. So a bit of a change. I know I said I was going to do Dresden, Riesa Dresden next, but I will get around to going back there. But for now, I wanted to do this route because I've just bought the 313 because it's on sale in Sony's end of year sale. So I'm playing on PS5 today, and I bought this logo like 2 days ago, and I've had a bit of a play with it, but not much. So I thought I'd show you what it's like as I drive it for one of the first times. I have done a couple of, well, one service I think. um, but yeah, so let's get started, and I will talk you through it. So we're doing a 852 Seaford to Brighton service, which these trains operate in real life, and it's only a three car. I think all of the services are three car services, um, unless there's some scenarios where you have to use six. And we shall get going. Right. So this is a fairly simple startup procedure because there isn't actually that much to do. I'm going to turn on the AWS because you know me, I need some big reminder. Um, Capita high, are the lights on? Yep, already lights on. But that's good. So yeah, Seaford's like a branch line that comes off the East Coastway and goes down to this very small single platform station. Well, actually, it's quite a long platform. But well, I don't think any long trains actually use it. But anyway, let's get going. So, the 313 is a DLC local add-on for East Coastway. So it requires you to own East Coastway before you can buy it. Um, East Coastway is like it was one of the last routes in TSW 2020, I think. So it's preserved collection rather than developed for TSW2, but it's one of the more modern routes from the previous game. So it's actually very well modeled as a route. It's just a bit short, I would say. And as without this DLC, so this 313 doesn't add any services. It just changes the services that are on the original DLC and run by class 377s, and replaces them with this train, which is what runs there in real life. But it does have a new timetable for that because the 313s I think have slightly different timings because they're a bit slower at accelerating than the 377s. So you'll get two timetables once you've bought this, but there is no real practical difference apart from one has 313s and one doesn't. They still basically run the same. There's no real big difference between them. So I'm gonna. No, I'm just gonna. I may actually get there on time. And so yeah, you'll notice obviously the 313 is visually incredibly similar to the 314 that's on Glasgow Cathcart Circle. That's because they are made by the same people. Well, they were made by British Rail, and they were all designed on the same basic body shell. This was like the first of the second generation electrical multiple units. So British Rail sort of did a big standardized design thing to save money. So there's quite a few rail classes that use this exact same body shell. If I remember correctly, the classes are the 313, which is this one, which was the first train of its type. The 314, which is what is on Cathcart Circle. And the key difference between the 313 and the 314 is that this, as built originally, was a dual voltage train. So it had. Oh, why did I put the emergency on? So it had a third rail powered as it is now, but was also had a pantograph. So the room for the pantograph is still there, but it's no longer used. And whereas 314 has the pantograph, the 315 was a four-car version of this, maybe with some differences, but it ran mostly on the East Anglia lines and West Anglia lines out of Liverpool Street in London. And then there was let me try and think, 507 and 508. Now, they all of those ended up on Merseyrail. I think both of those classes ended up on Merseyrail, but I think one of them, maybe the 507, was originally for the southwestern services out of Waterloo. And then gradually they got chopped up and changed, and I think some of them even ended up as carriages within other units, weirdly. Um, and then some were developed for Merseyrail. Now, the 313's history is basically that, well, the whole body, the weird thing is, and you'll see it when we see one next to a 377, if we see one next to a 377, they have a slightly lower roof, and they look very square compared to trains in the UK normally, because trains in the UK have a narrow profile, well, a narrow head-on, but they're quite tall, or they look tall because of how narrow they are. Whereas this one looks very boxy, and that's because they are actually they were actually originally built with a lower profile so that they could fit into the tunnels that run from where is it? North London into Moorgate. On the Northern City line, which was previously a tube line, but not like, but built to a full loading gauge, and that's also why they were dual voltage, because they needed to switch over to the third rail in those tunnels, because although it can fit a full-size train, it cannot fit overhead catenary. So, am I going to get down to 20 in time? Yes, I will. So the 313 was originally dual voltage, but I think fairly by like the 90s there was no reason for it to be dual voltage apart from for the Great Northern line into Moorgate. So actually, the majority of them just ended up being one or the other. I think most of them just ended up on the North London line. Running with the overhead line until the London Overground new Electrostars took over. But there would have still been some on the Euston to Watford line that probably used overhead lines and third rail. I can't remember if the whole section is third rail or if the bit between Euston and Wilson Junction is overhead. Well, it doesn't really matter for our purposes. The important thing is that they ended up being cascaded gradually, and now most of them have been destroyed, and the rest all live on the East Coastway and West Coastway lines, which is where we are on the East Coastway line. Oh. Oh, I need to do the horn actually. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's a nice whine. Definitely doesn't sound like a 377. It's quite quiet in the cab. I'll open the window. So where have we just gone? Yeah, we've just gone past New Haven town. So that's here. Where the harbour is over there. You can see that ferry. This skybox is awful. Is this? This must be the TSW. No, it can't be. They don't have the TSW1, TSW 2020 skybox anymore, apart from in some of the really old routes that never got looked at by the preservation team. But the clouds look awful. Right, now let's come into stop. Oop, I'm going to be a bit late, but not the end of the world. Oh, and this route has been upgraded slightly recently. So as you'll see, it has passenger information systems, which tells me I'm not late, I'm on time. and it also has rush hour passengers. So there's a lot more passengers than. Oh, actually, you know what? Because I'm on PS5, it could just be that it has the normal amount of passengers for. No, I think it got rush hour passengers. They've added them to a few of the older routes, pre-rush hour routes, and this might have been one of them. Um, it doesn't really make much of a big difference on this line, to be honest. I think it's probably too many passengers, if anything, but it's not too big. Doesn't ruin anything. Right, now let's get started. You get a bit of wheel spin from this train whenever you start off, um, which is good. Right, so good things about this train. It's really like, I mean, most British electromotive units are super easy to drive. It's the brakes are all right. It doesn't really get up to that higher speed. I think what's the top speed? 75. Yeah. So you'll never be going so fast in it that you can't stop in time. I mean, I can't because I don't pay attention to when I should be braking. Also, the stop markers are really badly sized. I will say they need to have a resize option or a high contrast mode for it so you can actually read it when it's against the white sky. But anyway, so this train and this DLC will layer on to Brighton Main Line, um, but not much. You won't get any passenger services on the Brighton Main Line London commuter route from this because it doesn't run any there in real life. What you'll get is stock moves. From what I've seen, most of the stock moves are very basic. Short movements, but there is one which will allow you to go all the way down the Brighton Main Line. So you'll be able to go from Selhurst Depot, which is just north of Croydon, all the way to Lovers Walk, which is just like literally where Brighton Station is. Um, so you and that whole service, because it basically it's four little parts of one service, and the first three parts involve manoeuvring around Selhurst Depot to get onto the main line to leave and go to Brighton, and then the service, the sort of empty stock run to Brighton takes about 40 minutes. So overall, you can get like an hour and maybe, and you could probably get as much as an hour and a half out of it, depending on how slow you are, like me, at doing the switches. Um, but um, but yeah, if you're going to buy it, if you want this train, you should want it for East Coastway. Like, I'm happy that it's added something to Brighton Mainline, but I was kind of like, I accepted. It's it's primarily for East Coastway. And even then, it's not adding any new gameplay beyond the scenarios. It's just replacing what was being done by the 377 previously, as in real life. Um, I'm glad for the whistleboards. I miss them on. I don't know if they're supposed to be on Cornwall or I don't know if they have them on West Somerset either. But like when you're driving through like a countryside route with all of these pedestrian crossings, pedestrian is that the word? Just well, foot foot crossings across the track. You kind of expect to see whistleboards. Let me get down to a nice speed. Oh, is that another 377? Ooh. Oh, god damn. Damn it. Damn it. I don't know what happened then, why it was wheel spinning all the way, or I'd locked the brakes. Oh well, just get off on the other, in the back two garages, I guess. Um, I did set it there to be a little bit of wetness, and I noticed that when I tried to sand, I must have shifted the reverser, but I don't know why it had such a bad effect. I started slowing down ages in advance. Um, Such bad lighting for a picture, but I'll try anyway. I'll edit it in Photoshop. Right. Does look gorgeous though, doesn't it? Does look absolutely bloody gorgeous, doesn't it? Um, yeah, so I think I don't think you can run the whole line. So you can't run from here to here with a timetable service because I don't think they run there in real life. Maybe in one of the scenarios. So everything you'll be doing with this train will go from Brighton here to Lewis here or to Seaford here. But because it's not like the fastest line or the fastest train, you'll probably you'll get about, I think this service is about 40 minutes. So the shuttles are about 20. So you'll be getting 40 to 20 minutes, which 20 to 40 minutes of gameplay from it, which is great. Perfect time for me. Um, I mean per service, not overall. I need to look at what the scenarios are, but I rarely do scenarios, only sometimes. Ooh, what was that for? Well, we do have the to slow down to pass over this junction, but it doesn't look like there's any other trains coming in, so we'll be fine. Green, perfect. Now let's coast downhill. Hello, cows. Oh, there was probably a whistle board there for that crossing that I completely ignored. Oh, well, what can I say? Okay, that's it's warning me of the speed reduction, I think. Yeah, yes. Which I was already aware of, and now I'm like terrified that I'm gonna. Uh, I'm gonna be so late to Lewis. It's like a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit into Lewis, and I'm already slow coming into this junction. Oh well. Smooth ride for the passengers, who then have to climb down when I miss the platform. Yeah, these clouds look awful. Oh, and I still bloody missed a bloody speed limit. Oh well, I got there in the end. Now I definitely can coast because until I need to brake, I think because yeah. Was that one for the speed reduction too? Hmm. Ah, well, we do have a 20 coming up. Ah, interesting. Yes. I think it goes 20, 10. I don't know why it's so slow through Lewis. It's literally an annoyingly slow station. Yeah, the 20. Oh, 500 yards is more than enough. He says, as I always say, and then completely bomb. I should say that I demonstrated this game to a Spanish train driver last night, um, who was not impressed with my driving. But I wasn't really trying. That's what I'll say. I was kind of like, but I thought you wanted to play. Why am I playing? I don't want to do it. And I was like, also, it's always like it's easy to film yourself playing a game like this, but it's always annoying when you've got people actually watching you. Hence why I don't do live streams yet. Also because I literally don't think I'll be able to literally drive a train and look at a chat. Not that I expect there be anyone in there, but sometimes I did a couple of tests once, and there were people like talking in the chat, and I was like, "Oh my god, please stop typing things. This was just a test." Right, how late are we? Oh my god, we're super late. A minute. Okay, no, a minute late. Could be worse. Oh, and there's a 313 that's obviously been doing the shuttle out of service. Um, oh, but there's people on, and they're waiting. They're waiting to go somewhere. Oh yeah, so interesting tidbit. These 313s, well, not all of them. Some are older than others, but the oldest ones are the oldest units still in regular passenger service on the UK network. Um, so yeah, imagine that if this was your local line and you'd gone from having 377s to the oldest train still in regular use as passenger services. You'd probably be a bit like, what? What? But they had like I'll show you the interior. The interior's been like extensively refurbished. Like if you, the ones on Cathcart Circle and the ones on that used to run on Liverpool Street to well the West Anglia line and East Anglia lines. They had the original half seat, five abreast seating. So they like instead of having like seats that come up and you can rest your head on, they sort of where this kink is. They see look at the height difference between them. They have the original ones have five seats, not four across, and really low backs, so you have nowhere to put your head. In fact, I've seen when I used to use the 315 for, I used to commute from Hackney into London Liverpool Street. On it was either 315s or 318s, and there would be times in the evening where obviously people are tired and and the seats are back to back in many cases where you'd see someone like fall asleep and their head fall back and hit the person behind them. It was quite funny. um, but yeah, those trains as well, gosh, nightmare whenever anything went wrong, because those smaller seats give the illusion of lots of space, but then actually floor space is super limited. So you've got to really push past people to get off. But yeah, they don't really well, they're not really in service anymore other than here now. Like they're probably not long for this life on the here, because I'm sure the 377s will eventually get cascaded back, and um, these will be long gone. I doubt anyone's going to try and preserve them and like trying to keep them even longer in their life. Although I did see a 314 from I think one of the 314s that used to run on Cathcart Circle, because they've all been retired as well, had is being remade as a hydrogen train. But as a tester, I don't assume they want to bring it back into full service or anything like that. And there's quite a few projects around trying to convert trains into hydrogen running. We'll see how it works. I'm sure all the money they're spending trying to make hydrogen trains a thing it would just be cheaper to just electrify railway lines. But the money's being spent by different people. So got 3 miles to the next station. We will be able to get up to. We can really go for it. Can take this train up to its top speed, maybe a 75. Well, not at the moment. We've got a 70 limit, but okay. This. Well, I'll have to do the picture from this angle so I get the sun on the back. Oh, come on. Ah, there we go. Oh, that's a nice picture. Even nicer like this. Oh, lovely. I'm not a big fan of sunny, I like my rainy or snowy, but I don't, it's coastal and snowy sometimes doesn't gel well with me, and also I thought it would be a bit ridiculous on a route like this, which looks very lovely, um, to do it with a like heavy rain, grey, overcast. So I put clouds, the awful looking clouds, but it is what it is. Maybe I should try and be arty with my picture. No, no. I do not like Southern's livery at all. So anything that emphasizes train rather than livery is better. You'll notice this does have doors at either end. They're not gangway doors for like connecting people through them. What am I trying to say? Uh, they're just for escaping tunnels. So like if two units are coupled together, there's no walkway through them. Um, because they don't have they don't extend and like connect to one another. Um, they're just doors for escape in tunnels because they were developed for Merseyrail and Merseyrail and the Great Northern tunnels into Moorgate. How on earth can I be getting wheel spin? I'm not doing anything. I like the horn. Okay, what? So even just braking once, like in a tunnel, is giving me wheels. Is giving me ridiculous, ridiculous. And even when I release, I still get the wheel spin. It's weird. Or wheel spin or wheel lock. One of the two. Gosh, I'm late. I'm going to be a minute late here as well, aren't I? Probably more. Well, I am being very cautious in my driving. Something that the Spanish train driver mentioned last night. Like, why are you so slow? I was like, you haven't seen me miss a bloody platform yet, so that'll show you how you'll see why I try and drive slow. Ah, there we go. We can saunter in late, but oh well, yeah, we're over a minute late now. Farmer, and then I think it's Moulscombe, and then London Road, and then Brighton. So we're not far, I think. Let's have a look. Yes, Moulscombe there, London Road here, and Brighton here. Ooh, and there's a 313. Where's it going? Seaford. So it's going in the way we came from. This is actually quite a nice picture. I might try for this. Sorry, timetable. Caution to wind. I don't care anymore. I'm going to be late anyway, so. Well, that is a nice picture, I think. Come on. Let's go. Toot the horn. Say hello to the dog. Hello, Lupita. Come on, let's drive a train. No, she wants to play. Oh, throw up. Don't lick up your bloody... Oh. You are disgusting, Lupita. Bless you. I don't need sand. I'm on a downhill. I'm blowing the horn a bit too much now, but like it's kind of, it's not a great horn sound. I mean, I don't know if it's accurate or not. I'm not talking about it like that. I just mean like, you know, it's not very deep and throaty, but it's nice. It's better than a lot of them. let's go to 60. Oh no, or yeah, 60 or 55, whichever we get to first. Ah, you come to watch me drive trains. Good. Lupita says hello. Also, give me attention. Stop looking at that TV screen. Weird. The train seems to have trouble. It seems to be having trouble picking up on accelerating on a downward. Oh, because I got the bloody brake on. Why did I have the brake on? Oh, probably because I'm coming up to a station. Oh, I don't need the emergency. No. I need it in full service though. I. Oh, I'm fine. Oh my god, I am so late. I'm going to be 2 minutes late. Why am I so late? Well, okay, I was taking pictures and generally being slow. So yeah, you've got to be on it with this train and this timetable. You can't like assume you've got any time to spare because you really haven't. You've got to be like bang on it as soon as you can get up to speed. Once you can master the brakes and know when to stop at the right time, leave it to the right time. Don't think you can brake early. Um, Funny because like the London commuter timetable, I feel is like the most flexible in terms of you can drive relatively. I don't want to say leisurely because no, you have to keep to a strict timetable, but the timings seem generous. Um, Whereas in the older routes in particular, it seems like yeah, you've really got to drive well to keep to time. Um, I'm trying to think like Northern Transpennine is like that with in those trains especially where it's like there's no room for maneuver in those things. The 45 and the 47, like you've got unforgiving gradients. They're a nightmare to brake. And you've got to do and there's like a speed changes every mile or so. So yeah, that's always an odd one I find. Oh come on, London Road, less than a mile. Oh, cool. Yeah, just go around here through a tunnel and we're there. No point going super fast either because um, I'm gonna be late. I mean, look, I was supposed to be at London Road 2 minutes ago. I've only just left Moon School. Um, well, I'll coast now. Another 313. Where are you going? Are you going to Lewis? Oh, I couldn't see. It was going too fast. Here's the thing I'd like in this game: a slow motion thing, a slow motion setting. I saw in Forza Horizon 5 that you can play the game actually just slow motion. You can literally change the setting and just play the game slow motion. And they've also got the rewind feature where you just press a button and it rewinds the game. That's like that was in previous Forzas. But that combined with the ability to play the game in slow motion is like pretty cool. I mean, it's an accessibility feature, the slow motion thing. So it's specifically for people who um, need to have more time to be able to play. But it works pretty damn well um, for like providing you with a oh no full service. Okay, we're nigh on 2.5 minutes late, and I'm not even stopping in the right place. Oh, what a bad driver I am. Oh, now I mean, even the PIS has figured out that I'm running late. Not as late as I actually am. It's gonna be 27 by the time I leave. Anyway, nobody needs to get on here. I should have been able to just skip the station. Can walk it down the valley across to Brighton.
Always try to carry a bottle of water with you. If you feel faint, seek help at the next station. Do
That
not
real?
use
Is that a real announcement? Try and carry a bottle of water with you. I mean, I get it in summer, but I'm playing this in December. And also, isn't that a bit weird? Like everyone needs to carry. Like, surely it should just be targeted. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. Still. And here's glorious Brighton. Somewhere over there's the sea. Yes, okay, I know. I'm going to get a yellow telling me you're about to go into a big station. Don't go super fast. Platform 8, not bad. Ooh, nice. Now I'm just sauntering. See some nice 377s. I assume if this gets a full workover by the preservation team, they may try and add some AI services from Brighton Mainline. Because it'd be good to have Gatwick Expresses showing up here as well. And all they have to do is just go off into the ether here. So yeah, well, I hope you've enjoyed the 313. Sure, it's not adding a whole bunch of nothing of amazingness to the game. It is just adding a little bit of variety where East Coastway was a bit samey with its rolling stock before. Um, but I mean, probably the the reason it's not so it's a bit of a slightly lackluster DLCs because it's been on the roadmap for a year, over a year. So it when it was finally delivered, it was kind of like everyone was probably like, oh, okay, that's fine, and had moved on because East Coastway is now an old route. If they'd have released it when like the roadmap first came out and like it had been done within a few months, probably it would be a bit more of a like, woof, oh, this is great. Um, but it's not the end of the world by any means. And it does give the potential for there to be like a West Coast wave route. Wow, I got a silver. I mean, I'm surprised I got even a silver, considering how late I was. How late was I in the end? 3 minutes late. And yeah, I overran by 26 yards at Southeast. So what can I say? So yes, I do think this is like if you like East Coast Way, you can't go wrong with this loco really because it's going to add the variation that you do not get in rolling stock with the base route. I'd probably say if you don't have East Coast Way and you're not interested in it, it's not worth it just for this loco because it doesn't change East Coast Way fundamentally. If you weren't interested in it before, there's no reason to be interested in it now just because of this loco. It doesn't change the gameplay. And likewise, don't get it just because you want stuff on Brighton London commuter because it will add very little. Um, like I said, there's one long service, a stock move, and the rest are just relatively small moves around the depots. Um, but yeah, I will try and get back to Tristan. I know I said that last time, so what my words stand for is nothing. But yeah, if I can drag myself away from UK content and American content, I will. And have well, I mean, I've got no excuse really. It's a bank holiday here. So today's Monday, and I don't go back to work until Thursday. So I should be able to get in another video, and I will try and make it Dresden. I just need to figure out what service I want to do on Dresden to do the whole line. Nothing too slow, but nothing too boring either. So let's see. For now, well, if you're in Spain, have a lovely bank holiday. Have a lovely puente. If not, sucks to be you. Hasta luego.